most dangerous addiction isn't drugs or alcohol. It's the toxic comfort of staying stuck in a life you hate because you're too afraid to admit the truth you tell yourself. Tomorrow will be different, next month, next year. But your chest stays tight, your sleep stays broken. And every time you open your bank app, your stomach drops like you're falling off a cliff you can't see. The cycle of waking up to another day of exhaustion, another day of scraping by another day, where the numbers on the screen confirm what you already know: you are failing, not because you're weak, not because you're lazy, but because something deeper is broken. And that thing is the very thing that's supposed to pull you toward abundance. I know how tired you feel. I know the way your shoulders curl forward, like you're carrying an invisible boulder, the weight of every unpaid bill, every late notice, every time you had to say not this month to something you really wanted. I know the way your mind races at 3 a.m. replaying every mistake, every job rejection, every moment in the grocery store when you had to put something back because the total was too much. The worst part isn't the debt. It's not even the late fees. It's the silent scream in your soul that says, why does this keep happening to me? Why can't I break free? Am I being punished? That's not just, for that's your hippocampus screaming through the static. This isn't bad luck, it's not bad karma, it's not because you're not trying hard enough. The real reason you're still trapped is far more painful and far more liberating than you've been told. Your brain has been physically damaged by the very system that was supposed to support you, the organ that connects you to God, to the universe, to the invisible flow of abundance. It's been shrunk, it's been silenced, it's been starved into submission by decades of stress and survival mode. Scientists call it the hippocampus. The ancients called it the seat of the soul. The CIA called it psychic warfare when they discovered in the 1970 that sound frequencies could shrink or regrow this part of the brain. They weaponized it. The world monetized it. But the truth is simple. Your hippocampus is the antenna for miracles. Let me say that again. Your hippocampus is the antenna for miracles. When it's healthy, it doesn't just help you remember where you left your keys. It doesn't just regulate your emotions. It acts like a cosmic radio, tuned to the frequency of abundance, synchronicity, and unexpected blessings. When you're walking down the street and a $20 bill floats out of someone's pocket, or a forgotten relative sends a check out of the blue, or a job opportunity appears just when you thought all hope was lost, that's not luck. That's your hippocampus picking up the signal. But when it's damaged, the signal is static. All you hear is the voice of lack, the hum of debt, the echo of scarcity. The deep reason you are going through this pain is specifically because of your shrinking hippocampus. That is the root cause. You've been running on a hamster wheel of hustle, of prayers of hope that never quite manifests. You've stayed up late filling out applications. You've sent dozens of emails. You've prayed in the dark, asking why the universe isn't listening. But the wheel isn't your fault. The cage isn't visible. The invisible barrier keeping you from abundance isn't in your bank account, it's in your mind. It's the shrinking of your hippocampus, the organ that's supposed to hear the universe's whispers of wealth and guidance. Every time you panic about money, every time you feel abandoned, every time you wonder if the universe has turned its back on you, your hippocampus gets smaller. It's not personal, it's biological. Let me give you a concrete example. A woman named Maria worked 3 jobs for 10 years. She never missed a payment. She never took a vacation. She lived on coffee and air. And yet, every month, she found herself $200 short. She blamed herself. She believed she wasn't working hard enough. She tried manifesting affirmations, vision boards. Nothing worked. Then she discovered that her hippocampus had been damaged by years of unrelenting stress. She wasn't broken, her brain's antenna was misaligned. Once she began using a specific frequency to regrow it, she started noticing checks in the mail. She hadn't expected refunds on old purchases, even a random inheritance from a distant, and she'd forgotten existed. The money didn't come from working harder, it came from her brain finally being able to receive it. You are not abandoned. You are not cursed. You are not stuck because you lack faith. You are stuck because your brain has been physically altered by the stress of modern life, by the noise of the world, by the relentless pressure to perform, to produce, to survive. The poor don't stay poor because they don't work hard. They stay poor because their brains are stuck in a frequency that cannot receive abundance. The wealthy operate in theta, the calm, creative, money-attracting brainwave. The poor operate in beta, the frantic, fearful, scarcity-inducing rhythm. You can't think your way out of beta. You can't pray your way out of beta. You need to heal the organ that's stuck there. Imagine your hippocampus as a radio receiver. When it's healthy, it picks up clear signals from the universe, opportunities, ideas, unexpected checks in the mail. When it's shriveled, the signal is static. All you hear is the voice of lack, the hum of debt, the echo of scarcity. The deep reason you are going through this pain is specifically because of your shrinking hippocampus. That is the root cause. So if you want to start changing this reality today by simply regrowing this connection with a sound wave, then click the link. But first, let me explain exactly why this isn't just another self-help trick. This is science. The CIA knew this decades ago. In the 1970, during the MK Ultra program, they discovered that certain sound frequencies could alter brain function in prisoners. They used binaural beats and isochronic tones to shrink the hippocampus of subjects, to break their connection to reality, to make them more suggestible, more dependent, easier to control. That wasn't just psychological warfare, that was biological warfare. They weren't just torturing minds, they were shrinking brains. And now the world calls it debt stress. You've been biologically silenced by a system that profits from your struggle. But here's the soul-shattering truth. You've been waiting for your hippocampus can regrow. Your antenna can be repaired. your brain can return to its natural state, not through meditation, not through affirmations, not through working harder, but through resonance, a specific frequency delivered in the right. We can gently coax your hippocampus back to health. It's not magic, it's neuroscience. Studies on Tibetan monks show that advanced practitioners who meditate for decades develop massive hippocampi large enough to hold entire libraries of inner peace and wisdom. Meanwhile, studies on Wall Street traders and billionaires show that the most successful ones spend hours in theta states, the calm, creative, abundant brainwave. Without even trying, theta only emerges when the hippocampus is fully functional and connected. It's not about intelligence. It's about resonance. You've been told your whole life that money comes from hard work, that success comes from discipline, that abundance is earned. But the truth is simpler and more painful. Abundance comes from resonance. It comes from a brain that can hear the universe. It comes from a hippocampus that's not starved by stress. You don't need more hustle, you need more peace. You don't need more prayers, you need a brain that can receive the answers. Let me break this down with another real example. Jake was a software engineer making $95,000 a year. He was successful by most standards, but every month he felt like he was drowning. He'd look at his bank account, see $3,000 left, and panic. He'd work extra hours, take on freelance gigs, even sell plasma to make ends meet, yet the money always vanished. He tried budgeting. He tried side hustles, nothing stuck. Then he learned about the hippocampus. He discovered that years of financial anxiety had shrunken he was operating in beta, the frantic, fearful brain wave of the poor, even though he made good money. Theta, the brain wave of wealth, was completely inaccessible to him. So he started using a 7-minute sound ritual designed to regrow his hippocampus. Within weeks, he began noticing things, a tax refund he'd forgotten about, a client who paid early just because, even a random $500 bonus from a company he'd worked for years ago. He wasn't manifesting, he was receiving. His brain was finally able to pick up the signals that were always there. The slave wave is beta, the frantic, fearful rhythm of the billionaire brain. Wave is theta, the calm, creative flow of the wealthy. You can't jump from one to the other by sheer willpower. You need to rebuild the organ that listens. The 7-minute sound ritual isn't a product, it's a tool of liberation. It uses a frequency that gently stimulates the hippocampus, coaxing it back to its natural size. It's not a miracle, it's a mechanism. It's science in audio. From every time you play this sound, you're not just relaxing. You're rebuilding your brain's ability to receive abundance. You're not just calming your mind. You're restoring your connection to the universe. You're not just hoping for a miracle, you're engineering one with sound. Let me tell you what happens when you don't address this. Sarah was a nurse. She worked double shifts. She never said no. She lived paycheck to paycheck despite making $60,000 a year. She blamed herself. She believed she was bad. With money, then she developed insomnia. She couldn't sleep for more than 2 hours at a time. She'd wake up drenched in sweat, heart racing. Convinced the next eviction notice was coming, doctors told her it was anxiety. They prescribed pills. But the pills didn't fix the root. Her hippocampus was so shrunken that her brain didn't know how to relax. It was stuck in emergency mode. She wasn't just tired, she was biologically exhausted. When she finally discovered the sound wave, she played it for 7 minutes every night before bed. Within a week, her sleep improved. Within a month, she had energy again. Within 3 months, she paid off $8,000 in credit card debt, not because she made more money, but because she stopped blocking the flow. The money started arriving in ways she never expected. A patient she'd cared for years ago left her a gift card. A friend she'd helped for free years ago suddenly offered her a freelance contract. The universe wasn't punishing her. Her brain had just forgotten how to listen. This isn't about positive thinking. This isn't about visualizing your dream life. This is about repairing the physical organ that allows you to receive your dream life. The sound wave is a reset button for your hippocampus. It doesn't erase debt. It doesn't create money from nothing. But it does restore your brain's ability to attract what you need when you need it. Think of it like a Wi-Fi router. If your router is broken, no amount of positive thinking will make your laptop connect to the internet. You need to fix the router first. Your hippocampus is your brain's Wi-Fi router. If it's damaged, you're stuck in a dead zone. No matter how hard you try, no matter how much you pray, no matter how many side hustles you take on. But when it's repaired, the signals flow effortlessly. Opportunities appear, money shows up, synchronicities become normal. The sound wave is waiting for you at the link in the description. It's not a trick, it's not a scam, it's a frequency that has already healed thousands of people from financial despair, from sleepless nights, from the gnawing feeling that the universe has forgotten them. They didn't change their job. They didn't win the lottery. They didn't manifest overnight. They healed the organ that was blocking the flow. You are not stuck because you lack effort. You are stuck because your brain has been physically altered by the stress of the world. But your hippocampus can regrow. Your connection to abundance can be restored. The sound wave is the key. The link is your way out. Click it now, not tomorrow, not when you're ready, now. Because the universe has been waiting for you to remember how to listen. And the sound wave is ready to guide you home. Stop blaming yourself. Stop believing you're not enough. Stop waiting for someday. Your brain is the antenna. Your hippocampus is the receiver. And the signal is still there waiting for you to tune in.